Well, hey folks, Real Lawsuit Richard Redland, and with Christmas just around the corner, I thought I'd talk about 4 good and 4 bad Christmas-themed horror movies. And if anybody knows anything about me, you know I love me a good horror movie. I love me a bad horror movie because I love to rant. I also love to praise things. So if I see something that I particularly enjoy, hey, why the hell not? Why not? Why not? Praise it, and why not rant about something? Sometimes it's good to get out frustrations when you see something that's particularly bad. So 4 good, 4 bad, that's essentially what this list is. And the reason I decided to do that is otherwise it would just be me ranting about all the bad Christmas-themed horror movies and praising the few good ones that are out there. And it's all subjective. Some of you may enjoy the ones that I put on the worst side. Some of you may have hated the ones I put on the best side. So leave in the comments what you guys thought. And let's get right on with it. Starting off with the worst, Black Christmas 2006, a remake that nobody really asked for. So I think the way the studio thought about it is like, okay, let's pump up the kills. Let's have the kills be gorier. Let's have the kills be sillier. Let's have the killer be more ridiculous. And let's have the girls, and everybody getting killed in this complete cardboard cutouts that nobody can really root for, so they root for the killer, even though the killer isn't really worth rooting for, and then it will print money. Now, I don't know if this movie made back its budget or not. I don't know if it did all that well. I remember not seeing it in theaters. I saw it years later on Netflix, and yeah, it was pretty shit. It was a pretty goddamn bad movie. There was really no reason for this movie to exist. I mean, I got it kind of as a cash grab, but yeah, nobody... This was not very good. It was not very good. Stupid kills, stupid acting, and just really like a bland story. I mean, it was a story we'd all seen before, and if you're not even going to try to have some fun with it, they didn't, and they just made it totally bland. So anyway, here we go with Best Christmas Evil, a 1980 horror movie, slasher movie that really had no business being as entertaining as it was, and it wasn't even that great. A guy grows up hating Christmas, or having a jaded version of Christmas, so to speak, after, as a boy, he sees something that shares his view, his innocent view of Christmas and of Santa in particular. So years later, he's dressing up as Santa, he's talking to kids in stores, he's doing a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, and he's also going on a murder spree. And the murder spree gets it gets where it does. And there's a goofy little ending and everything, but it's almost like a horror comedy, and it's not necessarily endearing, but it's not offensive. There's some good kills, there's some good stuff to it. Is it perfect? No. You don't. Some of the people have to do really stupid shit to advance the plot. You could do a whole lot worse. Like if between this and New Year's Evil, which actually I believe came out the same year. I believe New Year's Evil came out in 1980. That one was honest to God dog shit. That one I fucking hated. Christmas Evil had a bit of good stuff to it. It had a bit of comedy, had a bit of horror. Not perfect, but certainly not bad. Now we move on back to the worst, Santa's Sleigh with Goldberg. Goldberg sets a woman's hair on fire, and he's a killer Santa, and it's absolute dog shit. His acting is as good as his wrestling ability. And if you know anything about Goldberg's wrestling ability, not all that great. Yeah, he plays a killer Santa, and he kills people. And it looked like everybody had a blast on set. Good for them. Cool. This movie shouldn't have been made. Or if it was made, it should have been made at least, I don't know, with maybe a more tongue-in-cheek mentality, because it seemed to take itself too seriously. But the problem is also the comedy that they tried to have wasn't all that funny. It just wasn't. It just wasn't that good. Other people may disagree, but I did not particularly enjoy this. And then we get back to the best, Black Christmas 1974, fun slasher movie where a killer is targeting various people, killing him in some inventive way, especially for a 1970s slasher movie, an early 1970s slasher movie. And there's this eerie feeling that like this killer's right behind him or right nearby, because they keep getting these mysterious phone calls, and that's kind of cool. There's also the way it was shot, I think, was really, really good. There was some nice like camera work and everything, and some of the shots almost seemed like it was a dreamlike sequence, so you weren't sure if what you were seeing was real, or maybe that's just how the film came across, and maybe I'm just totally reading into it wrong. But I enjoyed Black Christmas 1974. Not perfect, not great, but it was what it was. It was enjoyable for what it was. Then we get back to the worst, Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, Garbage Day. That's the one with the Garbage Day meme in it. That's what this movie is most known for. Oh, that and using about 30% of its runtime to have footage from the first one. Anytime you got to rely on footage from your previous movies to tell a story here, you don't really have much of a story. You obviously don't have faith in the project you're currently in if you're recycling or borrowing or just flat out taking parts and splicing them right in there. I mean, I get it if you had a long, inventive story and like detailed and it was all crazy and you wanted people to follow the plot, but it was a simple plot of a guy killing people. Come on. Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 1 wasn't even that good. And don't get me wrong, Part 2 was not. Part 2 was absolute shit. As I just said there, when Garbage Day, that line is the best and most famous thing that you have. And I think that actor actually sells shirts with his picture on there and him him saying Garbage Day. And that's really cool. You might as well embrace the meme and embrace the joke at that point. But yeah, this was shit. This was total shit. I mean, it's good for a laugh, but it's total shit. You get back to the best. Krampus. I did not know what to expect from Krampus. I enjoyed it. I thought the cast was fine. I thought the mood, the atmosphere were pretty good. It really did have that feeling of isolation where they couldn't escape this, this deadly creature. And really just a fun movie that had some good horror. It did have some good comedy. I'm not going to say it all hit perfectly. There were some missteps, as you're going to have in a movie like this, but by and large, considering what I thought it was going to end up being, this was pretty damn enjoyable. Not perfect, not great, but was what it was. Then we get back to the worst, and the worst Christmas-themed horror movie that I've seen, at least that isn't like a direct-to-video or like something that was made on a budget of $10,000, is Jack Frost. And that's because Jack Frost was made on a budget of about $5,000. And if it wasn't, I would sure love to know what the budget of this movie was and where the fuck the budget went, because it sure as fuck didn't go to special effects. My god, it would look like a styrofoam snowman. Oh, by the way, plot quickly. A criminal ends up turning into a killer snowman. It's a stupid way that it happens. It's fucking ridiculous. The kills are absolutely ridiculous. He just... the snowman looks like it's made of styrofoam or made of... It's like a plushy snowman and not a slushy snowman. There's the one point where he freezes this girl in this bathtub, and it was made in 1977. It looks like it could have been put in 1977, and even the special effects then would have actually probably been out of place, because the special effects in 77 were better. Now, I don't know who directed this. I don't know who greenlit this. I don't know who funded this. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. Whoever came up with the concept of this, I sure hope your original concept was better than this. I do not quite understand why in the world people think that this is a great idea, that people thought that this was a great idea. It was one of the worst goddamn movies that I've ever seen. Jack Frost was absolutely abysmal, and the kills were absolutely ridiculous. Nothing about this was something that you could particularly enjoy. Why? I mean, like, a killer snowman that absolutely destroys, absolutely, just kills people that you don't care about, and it's like, it's a fucking snowman. Get a goddamn blowtorch. Get a can of gasoline, get soak a rag on a stick and frickin' melt it. That's all you had to frickin' do. It's a frickin' snowman. Now the more I think about this, Jack Frost is starting to piss me off more, so I'm going to move on to the best one. Gremlins. Gremlins, I don't feel, is the best movie ever. I don't feel it's as great as people hype it up to be. However, as a Christmas movie, it's more of a comedy horror than anything else. It's enjoyable, it's fun, and there are certainly way worse uses of your time than watching something that was quite enjoyable. You don't feed the gremlins after midnight, or otherwise deadly shit happens. There are rumors that a Gremlins reboot might happen. Please God, no. Keep the one as it is, because even Gremlins 2 was fine for what it was. But Gremlins was enjoyable, and since it was around Christmas Eve, it counts as a Christmas movie. So yeah, Gremlins had some horrifying moments, but mostly comedy, mostly endearing. It was what it was. It was enjoyable for what it does. However, show you what happens if you either feed a Furby after midnight or get water on a Furby. Yeah, you understand what the fuck I'm saying. It was pretty goddamn ridiculous. Yeah, Gremlins was enjoyable. So that's all I have to say about that. So those are some of my picks for best or good and bad horror movies or themed around Christmas. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description has been Real Honesty with Jarmethlin, and I will see you soon.